My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar and I'm with you with the specific area of ABFM, that is Advanced Business and Financial Management. Everyone, this is one of the series where we talk about the entire era of the ABFM, where we talk about first of all Module A, and in the Module A we have exclusively the era of management. We don't have anything else but pure theory. So when we talk about this theoretical area, what do we exactly do? So let's understand that part first, and then I'll move on to the chapter that I'll be taking up today, that is directing. That is Unit 5. Okay. So when we're talking about directing there, how do we define this particular term, everyone? It plays a very, very important role now. So Module A is basically something which talks about the basics first. What is exactly management? All the terminologies are included in it. Then it is followed by planning, organizing, staffing. Right. So when we talk about planning, planning is all about thinking in advance what to do, how to do, when to do, and by whom it would be done. Of course, that is the particular area which they talk about. But when they talk about it in detail, planning is basically looking into the future and trying to basically formalize it. When we talk about organizing is you have looked into the future. So obviously there are certain things that you require for your future, right? So you have to start collecting all those things accordingly. There are a few things that you required more, there are a few things that you required less. All those things has to be collected together, and then that is where you have to apply it. So that is where we talk about directing area. That is the specific area where we talk about organizing. When you arrange all the stuff that you require, the third stuff that comes is third level, I would say, that is staffing. See, you have got all the particular things in your hands. You have got everything that is working out for you. That means you have planned. Then you have collected all the resources. You are sorted about it. Once the resources are done, then what's the next point that you need? When the resources are all sorted, then you need to get some people who will be doing the stuff for you. Again, that is very, very important that you need people. Of course, without people, you cannot work, right? Even if I'm using AI, or even if I'm using machines, even if I'm using all the specific technologies, I still need someone to switch it on. I still need someone to take care of the repair work, right? The robots and everything else cannot replace humans yet. So in this case, that means staffing is another important area. You need people to do the work that you are thinking about, because of course you cannot do the entire work on your own. That is the part of staffing. After staffing, what's next? That is what we are gonna talk about today. That is directing. See, you've got people in your work. You've got Mr. X, you have got Mr. Y, you have got Mr. Z. But I have a question. Who will tell them what to do? Again, the management manuals can tell them, but ultimately, someone has to guide them about the organization culture. Someone has to stand by them and say, okay, it's okay. You can make mistakes, right? Because till the time you don't make errors, you cannot grow. That is one part which is a hardcore truth, right? That means at the same time, you need a good leader to guide you. Always remember, I think this is one of the favorite quotes that I strongly believe when it comes to the leadership era. That is a pack of dogs which is headed by a lion will fight like a lion, because you look at your leader. If your leader is so strong, you'll be like, that's my leader. He's guiding me into the right path. I think I can be the same level of fierceness, I can say. I can be same that I want to be based upon my leader, because you're looking at their strength. You see ki acha, whatever happens, this leader is definitely there now. That particular part. And then vice versa. That is a pack of lions headed by a dog will fight like a dog. You look at your leader. If your leader is weak, even if you're very strong, you're armored, if you are well equipped, you have all the resources. If the leader doesn't know how to use it, then your organization is doomed to fail. It will definitely happen. That part is something that we talk about in this area, everyone. So that's the entire area of directing. Acha, first of all, please do one thing, that everyone. That is, first of all, share this session, like this session, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. And this is the reason that we are talking about directing today. Okay, so let's talk about directing in further detail. And my name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar, and I'm with you with this specific area. Okay, everyone, when we talk about the specific area of directing, how do we define it? It says that in the context of management of an organization, we're talking about this area. Okay, if I don't go by the book language, directing is what? To tell people what to do, to guide them, to be with them. Obviously, it's not easy to work, of course, है ना? So, if you start working, then you don't know how to start it. There's someone who comes to your place and says, "Kya this is how we do it." And there is someone who's always looking at you. You'll always see that when people are looking at you, na, you'll always be performing better. You present yourself in a better way. Of course, right now, when we are looking at this particular class, right now, the camera is on. So I'll always be in certain situation, कि, अच्छा, let's sit properly, अच्छा, let's at the same time wear proper clothing. There's so many people looking at you. You have that particular thing. This is one particular psychological thing as well. When people are looking at you, when you're being noticed, na, you tend to be more presentable. So that's supervision. When someone is looking at your work, you'll always be like, Arre, I have to do better. And that's supervision. That is a part of directing. So directing is basically supervising people. And at the same time, there's a point there, instructing them. You are telling them what to do. They've joined the organization. How would they know what to do? You are not going to change yourself for your employees. You're going to change that particular person according to your organization, right? Because people belong to different cultures, traditions, different areas altogether. If we work according to them, then what's the fun, right? How will the organization retain its original form, right? Matlab, if I have a niche, I'll lose that niche as per the people who are coming in. I need to maintain that niche. That means I need to instruct them. I need to guide them whenever they are not able to grasp that particular part. I need to counsel them because, of course, people have just joined. Adults aren't very different from that of kids. They are learning. The adults are also learning. You keep on moving in the privatization area. Your jobs are basically something which you keep on switching. So every organization has its strong niche somewhere. You cannot lose that niche, right? Then we have the area of motivation. People make mistakes. They tend to lose their confidence. And when they lose their confidence, that is where the organization gets affected, right? Because who's working for the organization? It's not the equipments, it's the people who are working. So their particular motivation level, how motivated they feel towards the work, how enthusiastic they are toward the work, that really affects the working. And the last is leading, everyone. How do we define the leading? Leading is basically something where we say ki you are basically taking care of the entire organization. You are now showing them the path. So when you are showing the path, that is where the organization will grow na. That is the part of leading. So that's the entire area of directing. This is the basically theoretical definition. If I look at the broader perspective of directing, directing is what? Showing people what to do. And during the showing part, of course, there would be areas where you have to motivate them, you have to guide them, you have to instruct them, and you have to look at what they're doing as well. Only then you can find out errors now. That is one particular area. This is all directing. Directing has a few elements as well. We're going to talk about it in this particular class only. So, first of all, everyone, share the session, like the session, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. Acha. Now, this is one particular area that is related to the area of characteristics of directing. See, how do we define directing? Everyone, I was talking about the pack of lions and the dogs, right? So when we talk about that area, your leader is always influencing you. Why? Let's talk about Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler made people feel that acha, there is a particular race, Aryan race, and Nazis are better, and then they are going to rule the entire world. And then Jews were being, they were killed brutally, they were murdered, they were used for experiments. What is the entire base of that? Influence. One man influencing the entire country and literally having that much influence that people were not able to even remain human. if you look at the particular area, na, the concentration camps, they turned inhuman. On what basis? One man telling them that the life of these people is worthless. Now that is where influence played the role. That means if the leader is negative, then people would be there, the people who are following him, they trust him. So obviously they will feel he's correct. So they will also turn inhuman. While if you look at the particular example, I think you must have seen that about Tata there. Mr. Ratan Tata is someone who is very considerate towards animals. You'll find that many of the Tata hotels, even Taj, if you talk about Hotel Taj and all, if you look at those particular areas, you'll find that the dogs and any other animal which is coming in that area, they're not stopped. They're living in that particular area and they're allowed there. And the reason is the man behind the ideology says you cannot really harm an animal. So if the animals are coming inside the property, that's absolutely fine. Now that is one particular area, that one particular person is affecting the entire organization. He's influencing the entire organization, right? That is one particular very strong part, influence. Directing is actually hypnotizing the person to that extent that they follow you. And that is where the entire organization is following your aura, right? So the leader has to be very strong. The next part is interpersonal. I have a thought process. If I keep it up to me, then obviously I cannot uh, expect that you are also having the same. I'll have to communicate with you. I'll have to come up and tell you, see, this is my thought process. What is yours? Let's come to this point that I want the things to be done in a certain manner. If I'm your senior, then I'll be telling you what to do and what not to do. The instructions would be made clear to you. And if I'm your junior, then I would be coming up to you with a suggestion, or I might be asking you things as well. That means these are based upon persons. This is interpersonal. But the next part that comes is behavioral. See, when we talk about directing, why would I listen to someone? Okay, let's talk about this. There are people who would be saying, ki, Arey, this particular person is shorter than me. Why should I look at that particular person? Why am I listening? There's a particular man, there's a particular woman who hasn't studied that much that I would have done. Or maybe that there's a particular person who has not done a lot of work that I have done more. When these things happen, why are you listening to the other person? The reason is the organizational hierarchy. That puts him into a situation that it doesn't matter whether he is basically shorter than you, then he's basically in a better height than yours, and or any other random thing, I would say. Behavioral aspect is basically the characteristic of that particular person that brings them to that particular organization's higher position and the ability to influence other people as well. The last part is situational. Everyone, when we were kids, I think we would have faced two kinds of situations. First is sometimes the teachers are coming up and telling your parents that your child has a particular potential, they will grow well, help them up, they will really do well. That's it. A good point comes up. And sometimes a teacher would come up to a particular student and say, you are worthless, you are not working well, I don't think you can pass the examination. That particular person took it to the heart and he says, nahi sir, and this time I'll clear the examination with flying colors. Now, this is basically motivation, but two different motivations. One is you are making the particular person feel positive about it. You're believing in them and you're making them believe in themselves as well. Second one is where you are hitting up the wrong nerve. Actually, the right nerve with the negative intention first. Whenever you are basically challenging that particular person that I feel that you are worthless, prove it to me that you are not. That is situational. That means you can have two kinds of things. That a particular boss can do two things. He can be very sweet towards you, or he can be very rude towards you. In both the cases, he's just getting the work done from you. That is situational. Anyhow, let's move on to the next part, that is importance of directing. Directing is super duper important because that brings everything to action. I planned everything. What is it that I'm doing with the plan? Ultimately, if I plan everything, if I don't start working on it, it's just worthless, right? A plan on a particular map really looks cool. But then what happens next? That is, you have to initiate the action. Then integrates efforts. You have to integrate all the efforts that you are doing in terms of your organization. Those efforts have to be collected, and that is done by a human only, and that has to be the leader. He is going to bring the entire things on the table, and he's going to say, we are going to meet for the meeting at this point of time. Let's everybody collect together, have a word. You're going to integrate the efforts now. The next part is motivation, everyone. Motivate the employees, because ultimately now people who are working in the organization, they need money, they need empathy, they need their own personal space as well, work-life balance, XYZ. People are requiring a lot of things, and if you fulfill their needs and you are also considering them in the organization, both of you sitting together are definitely going to bring out a better organization. Then comes bring stability. See, directing is basically putting everything into a particular area that this is how it has to be done. So everything is not gonna be like koi bhi kar dega. Acha, anybody can do it. Acha, let it be na. It will work out. You're not working in that casual way. You are being very, very professional towards that area. So it brings out a very strong thing which is called stability. Right? Acha. Now here comes the most important area of elements of directing. Okay, I hope now this is clearly visible. Look at this, everyone. The first part is supervision, and second part is motivation, leadership, and communication. I told you directing has a few elements. That is called SMLC. This is one of the acronyms that I use in terms of learning, because ultimately you have to learn all these now. These can be covered in the form of an MCQ in the examination, and it can turn out to be a little troublesome. So to learn a lot of terminologies and characteristics, this is an easier one. First is supervision, second is motivation, third is leadership, fourth is communication. What are these 4 points, everyone? Let's just understand them one by one. Supervision. Supervision is basically a term which says that you looking at the people, how are they working, how are they exactly doing their entire working, is supervision. You are overseeing their work, you are monitoring their tasks, you are looking into the what exactly the particular thing that they're doing. That particular part is being studied there. Second part is motivation. That is basically a zeal to work, everyone. Maybe I am working for money. Maybe I am working for the professional growth that I wanted. Maybe I'm working for just to run away from something. Maybe I'm working for the fact that this is what I wanted to do all my life. Motivation can be anything now. Motivation is that particular zeal to do something that is encouraging or inspiring feeling of a person. So you have to inspire that person, and maybe that person is inspired enough. If he's inspired enough, that is good. But if he's not, then you have to put up the particular thing on the table where he feels to that inspiration and he works accordingly. Next part is leadership. Leadership is what? Leadership means the leader, the person who has the power to influence the other person. For example, let's talk about the Bollywood actors or the Hollywood actors. What are they doing? They have the charisma that other person is just influenced towards them and really wants to see them. Right? If you have a stronger leader, people will feel the charisma, and then they would be like, Acha, I want to listen to this person. I want to, I trust that particular person's ideology, their thought process, and I want to follow it. So they want influencing and guiding employees towards achieving organization goals. Next part is communication. See, all these things can be done without telling the other person. Is it possible? Ultimately, even if I have to explain a particular thing, I have to talk to you. If I don't talk to you, nothing can turn up better way, na? Right? So that's one particular reality, everyone. So this is one particular area which we talk about. That is communication. Without communication, nothing can happen. So communication is basically exchanging of the views and ideologies and ideas of the parties, and it can be senior, junior, 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 as well as junior, senior. It can be horizontal, vertical, in any case, right? That is one particular area, that is exchanging the views of the parties. Okay, now that part is also done now. This is elements of directing. Okay, so we are done with S, M, L, and C. Let's talk about a few more things and then we'll move on towards the MCQ area. Okay, everyone. Let's talk about the leadership. There are certain models that I would like to discuss regarding leadership. And what is leadership, everyone? I think leadership can be said as something which is basically a set of behavior where you are I think one particular simple point is leadership is influencing the other person. You are in a situation where you are influencing the other person. It can be through any point. There, I don't think that is only related to the area of. There are certain people who are not organization leaders, but they're group leaders, right? You and I are talking, and we are friends, and then I take the decisions for everyone. People are like, Niharika, you decide. That is something that is happening because they believe that it is better that I take the decisions because my decisions might be right, or they believe that this particular area is not theirs and it would be better if I take that decision, right? There can be anything. So leadership is basically what? It's a set of behavior or attributes that comes with training and development. If I talk about army, in army, the strategists, the people who have fought multiple wars and they have experience of the wars and they are calm enough, they become the leaders of that particular area. Na? The strategists are ultimately them only. Or the people who are basically advising them, they take the ultimate decisions. Right? So leader plays a very important role in the organization's survival. Growth and everything is a far cry. Survival is because of the leaders. Acha. Now based upon this, the particular attributes are these. Number one is influence. You influence the other person. He would feel charismatic towards you. He would be so much interested in you, or you make them interested in you, or the organization has made them interested in you because you are the boss. That is influencing the other person. Interpersonal relations, you have to be the leader if you really want to make the people work according to your needs. A junior cannot make a senior work according to them, but a senior can do that. But at the same time, you do not get this particular thing by cussing others, or you're just making things worse for them. You have to maintain an interpersonal relationship. Then behavioral, again, it is behavior based, and last is situation. Behavior, it is based upon the behaviors of the people, and ultimately when we talk about situation, the particular situation can definitely make a lot of difference. For example, before COVID, people were working in a different scenario. There are certain managers who started using a lot of technological work and they survived. So those are situation based things. Huh? One particular situation can make you rude towards people, and the other situation can make you very sweet towards them at one point of time as well. Once the particular work is over, then you don't need to be very rude towards them or very strict towards them. No? Acha, what is the importance of leadership, everyone? Okay. Now I hope this is visible. What is the importance of leadership? One part is good followers. See, when you get good leaders, you will always have a good followers, right? If I look at the particular area, okay, this is based upon the Hindu mythology, I can say. So I don't believe in the word mythology there. This is basically the particular stories that we have heard from our parents. So that's one part. Lord Parshuram trained many Brahmins for how to use the particular weapons, right? And among them was one particular person, that was Karn. Karn was among his followers who learned how to use the weapons, but he wasn't a Brahmin. So ultimately, he was cursed by Lord Parshuram. This is a part of Mahabharata there. So Lord Parshuram had cursed him that the moment you need it, you will not remember it. This means the particular teacher, I would say here, they are basically shaping your life, you know. So if that teacher is considerate towards their work, if they are disciplined, if they are worried about their working, they will always create someone who will turn out to be a better person. It doesn't really happen only on this basis. Personal choices of the students will always affect it. But ultimately, if there's a good teacher there are chances that you will have a good students around them. Same thing happens in the organization. If the organization leader is very considerate towards the world, where the leader is worried about how to work and he is really shaping the organization in a very good way, or people are automatically attached to them and they work according to him. Then is personal relations. Without personal relations, nothing can work out. Dynamic environment, everyone. Directing makes sure dynamic environments are easily adapted because the leader pushes people. A mother will always push the child to change themselves according to the need. They are going to the kindergarten school, then they go for the normal schools, then they look forward towards the high schools, and then they're going to the senior secondary, and then they move towards universities, and the particular kid is going out and working. They're getting married someday. Mother is always guiding, the father is always guiding. That means they are making sure that the kid is adapting to the new things that they're learning. You have gone through that already, so the child is now getting through it. Same thing happens in the organization. You build the organization, so you make it dynamic, and you tell them without the particular changes that are happening around you, without the adaptation of that, you will not survive. So, need of the hour is being created. Then there's a conflict resolution. He does that. You are in a higher situation, so you can definitely influence people to make the work done. Otherwise, it is not possible for the people to get the work done. Acha, this is one particular part that these parts, if even if it's not readable, now this is out of this only. This is created out of the particular the explanation that I've given you. So even if you're not able to read it, it's absolutely fine. Not missing out on anything. Acha, everyone, now that we are done with the particular theory part, now let's move on towards the area of practical part of this chapter. So these are the MCQs. Okay, now let's begin with this, everyone. This is the first question. The question says that which of the following is not the key element of directing function? Motivating, employees setting organization goals, communicating effectively, and the last one is making decisions. Which one is not the key element, everyone? Remember, there are 4 elements. This is how you can learn them. That was S, M, L, and C. This is supervision. Second is motivation. Third is leadership. Fourth is communication. So we have these 4 things: S, M, L, and C. I think I can say making decisions is there, leadership, communication is there, then this is motivation. One part which doesn't make sense is setting organizational goals. This is a part of planning, not a part of directing. Hai? So in this case, the answer which is not a key element, the answer to this question is B. What leadership style focuses on giving employees a high degree of autonomy and responsibility in decision making? Autocratic leadership, transformational leadership, laissez-faire, or bureaucratic leadership? Actually, everyone, when we talk about the different styles of leadership, there are 4, there are actually many, but there are little limited which are given in your book. So following are the particular types. First is autocratic. Leadership is basically what Adolf Hitler did. That is, one particular person telling everybody what to do, how to do, when to do. Nobody can question them, and nobody has the right to even give them suggestions if they don't need it. Autocratic is basically a rule where the leader thinks that he's all right and nobody can question them. A little dangerous for any organization, but it is beneficial when the person who is leading knows the work. If he is the only one who knows that work now, then of course this is a better situation. Transformation leadership, where you transform the particular person by being around you, and then they learn through the working and they turn into something else. Laissez-faire is free reign. I will not intervene till the time you are working on your own. This is a freedom that you are giving to them. That liberty is good. That is laissez-faire. In bureaucratic leadership, this is what you will find in terms of our this is what you will find. Laissez-faire is bureaucratic leadership is something that I can say that happens in terms of the government area. The government officials and all, they take care of it in that particular manner. That is called bureaucratic leadership. Okay. So high degree of autonomy and responsibility. You're giving that particular person the freedom to work on their own. Now, this is a part of which area, everyone? Which is that particular area, everyone? When we talk about the bureaucratic leadership, this is not giving a lot of autonomy. You are actually putting them under heavy burden of documentation. Autocratic is too much. I am the man. I am the one who's taking care of everything. Everybody out of the situation. I'll take decisions. And that's something bad, rather. Transformation is also not the one. The answer is basically laissez-faire. This is also known as free reign. Okay? This is also called free reign. That is called laissez-faire. You will not be touched till the time you're working on your own. When there's a blunder or when it's actually a requirement, only then the leader will enter. Acha, next part. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs suggests that physiological needs must be satisfied before individuals seek which of the following needs. Acha everyone, Abraham Maslow is someone whom you will find in chapter 1 and then you will also find it here. This particular person is known for the motivation theories that he has provided. So in these theories, what did he say? He said that Abraham Maslow said that there are certain hierarchy of needs. First of all, this need should be fulfilled, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. There's a hierarchy in it, right? So which one among the following is the answer? Go ahead. Acha. Now let's talk about it, everyone. Safety, belongingness and love needs, self-actualization, and the last one is esteem needs. So what are we talking about exactly? When we talk about Abraham Maslow, Abraham Maslow strongly believed that there's a sequence. The sequence says, first of all, everybody is looking forward towards food, shelter, and clothing. Roti, kapda, makan. Everybody needs a house, everybody needs a place to live upon, and they need food. They need proper sleep to work. Obviously, if I'm not sleeping well, what will happen? After a certain time, a person will become a zombie. They will not be able to take any decisions, right? So that is food, shelter, clothing. That is one particular part. Then you would want that every single day this food, shelter, clothing stays with you. That is the second level, that is called safety. Then the third level would be belongingness needs. Now that you have got your own place, you want that you need friends. You will talk to the neighbors, you'll try to look out for people. You want to settle down someday. That is belongingness. Then you really want that other people who are with you, you want to be superior to them. That is called esteem needs. And the last need of this area is self-actualization. Self-actualization is the top. Once you're done with all the petty things that you're looking forward towards your life, all the basics for sure. Then you, after a certain period of time, you're gonna take the leap of faith. What next? I've got a good place, I've got a good work, I've got good money. What next I want to do? That is self-actualization. Okay. So when we talk about Maslow's need hierarchy theory, first is physiological needs. Physiological needs is basically your body needs, food, shelter, clothing. Then we need sleep. Then all these specific areas are a part of what exactly? Your physiological needs. And then once you're done with the physiological needs for today, you would want it every day. That the food stays with you. You get 3 times fresh food, then you're looking forward towards shelter. You know, need a particular shelter for yourself. That is your safety. Looking forward towards those things to be with you on a regular basis. That is called safety needs. Next point, everyone. What is that one potential negative outcome of using an authoritarian leadership style? Authoritarian leadership style is basically one particular area where you tell people what to do. Nobody else can do that part. That sounds rude, no? It does. It increases the amount of the time needed to execute plans. No, it doesn't. If I am the authority, nobody is there to question me. I'm the one who's going to take the decisions, and that's it. It can stifle the originality and innovation of the workforce. This might happen. Why? Because a particular employee came to me and said, "Ma'am, I have an idea." And I tell them, "You know I'm the boss." What will happen? That particular person will stop giving me suggestions. But I cannot be the one who knows everything. I will face problems and I have to accept that part. It improves the coordination and cooperation among team members. Yes. Not really. Authoritarian leadership doesn't really affect the coordination and cooperation among team members. I am the leader, then nobody else is allowed to talk. Nobody else is doing anything else. I am the initiator, and I put them into both those particular situations. So that is something which is not really a part of it. Then comes it leads to unclear command chains. Nahin. The leader says that I am the person from whom you have to take all the decisions, that this is it. So that means the D part is also not there. So there's only one part where you put down the people by telling them that you are the leader. They aren't. That's it. Answer is D. Acha. Which type of motivation is most likely to be sustained over the long term? The motivation which is to be sustained for a long term is extrinsic motivation. See, I told you there are different types of motivation. The first part that I talked about was positive and negative motivation. The next part is extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. I saw a banker who was just going by, and I saw them in a very good car, and I saw that they are having the financial stability, they're having the growth. I said, this is why I want to be a banker. This is extrinsic motivation. I saw something the other person is having, and I would want the same things. Materialistic things are really affecting me. So I'm like, array, this particular person has got good amount of money from this career. I want the same career. That is extrinsic motivation. Those things are really making you feel those rewards that you can see. Second is intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is, I told you that this is my dream, I want to be a banker. It has nothing to do with the money, XYZ. Nah. It is based upon simple fact that I feel I want to be one. That is intrinsic motivation. Because it is driven by personal interest and satisfaction. Okay? So this is the answer there. B. Extrinsic motivation is something that maybe I feel that today I need a new phone, and that is why I want to be a banker. Tomorrow maybe I'll feel, array, I've got the particular phone now. I feel contented now. Now I don't want to be the banker. But if I want to be a banker because of my personal reasons, it doesn't matter what the other person would be saying, and it doesn't matter what returns are coming. I want to be a banker because I want to do it. That is intrinsic motivation. It is something which will be sustained for a long term. It is not something which will stay for a lesser period, because materialistic things keeps on changing. Intrinsic, the inner voice that a particular person is having, that doesn't die. So that's one particular answer there. That is intrinsic motivation. Right? It is driven by your personal interest. It is driven by your own choices. Acha. According to the Herzbergs, what is the role of hygiene factors? Acha, this is basically in a motivation hygiene theory. Everyone, two-factor theory it is also called. See, you told me that, Niharika ma'am, this particular job is gonna give you good amount of money. I said, really? Wow, that's good. That is one part. And then you say, there's a plus point. Niharika, what is it? The infrastructure is really good. You get proper water, you get proper lighting, you get proper safety. I'll be looking at the person and saying, aren't these things the basic necessities that I'll need to work? As a woman, when I'm working out, if I don't get a proper access to proper drinking water, and not only water but also the sanitation facilities, also the safety, also the regular infrastructure. See, I'm in the education industry. That means I have to keep on studying. If there's no proper lighting, what will happen? I'll have a headache. It will impact my health, and then I'll have challenges in working altogether. That means absence of these things can irritate me. But I cannot say, Arey, the lighting looks really good. That is why I want to work in the organization. No, it doesn't motivate me. So there are 2 points. First part is which pumps you up to work. And there are certain things which will not pump you up, but their absence is going to affect you. That is hygiene. So this is called motivation hygiene theory. So in this case, they inspire employees to put forth their best effort. No, it doesn't motivate you. They increase job satisfaction when present. They prevent dissatisfaction when adequately addressed. That's the true point. I am not going to be pumped with the particular infrastructure, but I'm just going to be comfortable. I cannot say that they are providing good drinking water, so I want to work in the organization. But I'll work if they have a professional growth. You know? That means motivation part is based upon the professional growth, the good salary offer, the particular exposure that you're getting in the organization, advancement opportunities, XYZ are a part of it. But the basics that you're having, if they are absent, then you get irritated. That is where we talk about dissatisfaction. So answer is they prevent you from getting dissatisfied. Chaliye everyone, I think this is where I would like to end the session. I hope this session was fruitful, and if it was, then please go ahead and like the particular session and subscribe to our channel right away. Before I end my particular session, there is something that I would like to show you. So let's find it out everyone. Let's get to our website www.ada247.com. Scroll it down, go on to the area of JAIIB and CAIIB, and this is where you will find CAIIB November 2024. Our batches are here: Kranti batch, Revolution batch, Safalta batch. These are all the batches which you will find that on the particular area, right? Success batches also there. All these batches are available. Currently we are coming up with these. So I think let's look at this particular area. This is our English medium batch for November, December, and this is where you can find all the details. It is starting from 3rd of September. So that means you have a little time and you can start the particular studies accordingly there. Right? So if you look at the particular area, what do you do in this specific area? You look at the particular area and you click on the area of buy now. Use the code Y541. What do we have in this specific area? That is something I'll discuss with you. Use the code Y541 and apply it, and you will get that 78% discount if you download the app right away. If you talk about the Revolution batch, what do you need to do? First of all, you'll get 450 hours of live classes, you'll get test series and as well as ebooks. So in this area, you will get all these things along with the ebooks and all. You will also get all the 4 subjects completely in this area: ABFM, ABM, BRBL and BFM. In the ebooks, that means you are safe from looking at the Macmillan books and also our notes. You can just look at the ebook and then you'll be done with it, right? The test series are basically available in terms of unit wise as well as the topic wise, and the complete mocks. Everything is available, and the live classes are there, and recorded classes are also available. All you need to do is use the code Y541 and get the 78% discount, but download the app first because you'll get 1% extra, right? So go ahead, and I hope this particular session was helpful. If it was, and don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel right away and share the session. Thank you so much for being there everyone. We'll be meeting